Why are you making the sound of a plane that's crashing?
Because that's what would have happened if Neerja Banot was not the stewardess on flight. I can't remember the name of the next flight.
So guys, last week me and Ravi checked out Neerja. We posted it up on Twitter that we were going to watch it, but we didn't get time to do our review. And because we were so busy, we were going to end up leaving it. But after we saw it, we thought, you know what? We have to get this review out, even though it's late.
We must, because every now and again, you come across a film that you just can't ignore. So, let's kick in with the story. Everybody knows the true story, and this is the dramatization of the real life story of Neerja Banot, who was an air stewardess on a flight which was taken by hijackers. And she, spoiler, if you don't know the real story, single-handedly responsible for saving 360 lives. This was back in 1986, and given all of the tension between India and Pakistan, she was actually honoured with a Medal of Bravery from Pakistan, from India, and from Britain, and America. No, not Britain, America.
So I've got to start on this. I know the main star of the show is obviously Sonam Kapoor, but I've got to say Ram Madhwani, friggin' heck, man. He's done an amazing job with this film. It truly has. The way it's shot, the way it feels. And it's a conversation that we were having whilst we were driving back, that it felt very immersive, like you were on the plane. It felt very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I was having I couldn't breathe at certain times. I know you hitting me Sonam, you're making too much noise. Yeah, I felt like that. And you know what? Credit goes to him for putting that style together, because it's not always easy to do when it comes down to these sort of films where you're trapped in one location.
No, he does a great job of both sides of it, because the stuff on the aircraft, you know what you're working with, but he did a great job transitioning from all of the day-to-day life stuff when he had to build up who Neerja was and Sonam Kapoor's character, and we'll get onto her acting in a bit. He did a phenomenal job of creating warmth. He used a really warm colour palette, lots of oranges and yellows and moody sort of fire-esque colours. And that gave you this warm, safe feeling. And there was a lot of contrast that they threw in with a lot of the terrorist activities and stuff going on at the time. And so what was happening was you had kind of almost these two cars sort of driving in parallel. And when you got to the stuff on the aircraft, like you say, it was like compressing the two together, and you had this tense, dramatic feel. But she was pretty much the one standout character through the entire film. He did a great job focusing on her and actually building the story around her.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just it. When we I gotta touch upon Neerja, man. The character that she plays, Sonam Kapoor plays, friggin' heck, guys. You know what? I've never seen. I've got to say it, I don't think I've actually seen a Sonam Kapoor film where she's just friggin'
Acting.
Yeah, it's just been friggin' amazing all the way through. There was no point that I did not believe that Sonam Kapoor was playing this character.
Yeah, I don't know too much apart from this story of the real life Neerja, but if she was anything like the way Sonam Kapoor was portrayed, like incredible woman, but there was no point where she broke the feeling of vulnerability and that she was struggling constantly with herself. And let's face it, we've seen Sonam Kapoor in a music video and a few other films where she's kind of just window dressing, and in this she's the only, I mean, it's not that there's no other stars or no other good performances, it's that she is the standout star, but she's so understated and she has so much internal conflict that she's working through that I didn't think she could pull it off, but she really did.
Dude, I've got to touch upon the terrorist setup in this film. Friggin' heck, all the way through, when that part kicked in.
Yeah.
It was so freaking crazy, because although I'm feeling claustrophobic on the plane, or not on the plane, inside the cinema hall. I'm feeling uneasy, right? Because I know the situation's gonna kick off, because I know what to expect. And then when it friggin' finally happens, you're like, oh my God, is this for real? They really gave you a feel that they are friggin' terrorists, that this needs to be their full-time job.
Yeah, and they did a great job of being the dark, kind of evil, easy to hate characters in this, which is all you needed from them. They did a great job of that. And you know, the colour palette that was used when they were introduced and kind of drawing it, pulling it all back. It did a really good job of convincing you that this is a real hijacking. This is a real woman that had a real difficult and incredibly stressful and tense and dangerous time, and she overcame it with bravery, and it was a phenomenal piece.
Yeah. So guys, look, we're really harsh on films. We really are. We saw this and we thought about, you know, the last review that we did, which was Airbus.
Bus trip.
Bus trip, yeah.
Airlift.
Airlift, yes. Airlift? Yeah, that's it. And we couldn't help, but I know they're two different sorts of films, but I gotta say, man, story, directing, performance, all the way through, Fox did a friggin' amazing job. I don't know what more to say, except I actually got this feeling of wanting to watch it again.
Yeah, I think something I will say is this is what cinema can be when it takes a real life story of, you know, human bravery and the human condition and what we're capable of, and translates it to film, doesn't sensationalize it, doesn't blow it out of all proportion, and actually respects the original story. This is, I think, a very, very good, if not the best example I've seen in a long time out of India of doing that, and bravo.
Anyway, guys, we're going to leave you to it. You've clearly seen it. We're obviously late. But please, we want to hear back from you guys. Did you enjoy the film? If you did, or if you didn't, put it down in the comment section. It's your boy, Salem.
Ravi.
Peace out.
Take care.